This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person. This morning I had a little frozen spinach in an almond milk smoothie. And you might be thinking, uh-oh, but I'm thinking that it zinged me up beyond fucking belief. And in case you're wondering, I am a healthy now. And I did have a frozen smoothie. And honestly, my big fat tip for the smoothie recently is it's got to all be that frozen good except for the milk. If you want your smoothie to not be runny like a soup, and you want it to hold together with the power of 1,000 ices, you're going to want the spinach to be frozen. You're going to want the mango to be frozen. You're going to want the pineapple to be frozen. You're going to want the peach to be frozen. And then the yogurt, it doesn't have to be frozen. Or the protein powder. It could be, but I didn't do that. Instead, I made a smoothie fit for a king. I do always wonder, by the way, when I put protein in my smoothie, if it's just going to sort of be shat out because I don't work out, really. I sort of see protein as something that's going to make me big muscles if I was to be bench pressing, but I certainly shan't be bench pressing. Anyway, gang, I'm in the studio alone. Because it's once again the triannual solo episode where I forego the guest for an intimate experience with the callers. I'm giving one-on-one therapy gratis to the people of Townsville. And it's absolutely my pleasure to be here as your doctor. I've been rolling my sleeves up a little bit on my shirt, so I'm sort of a bad boy, kind of a bad bitch, Addison Rae. You guys remember that song? She a bad bitch. Addison Rae. Sort of me in my studio alone singing the Addison Rae song. But anyway, yeah, man, it's hot as fuck in LA right now. And I know that that's causing problems for people worldwide. I know that people are out there and they are wondering, how do I do it? And I'm here to tell you that shorts are in, but flowy pants are bigger. And also, wear a sandal. And I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now. And I gotta say, it's imperative that I say, my heels have never been cooler. Because there's no sock that's keeping my body heat in. When my body heat needs to escape, it's doing it one of two ways. Through my ankle or through my back. And yeah, my back might be sweaty, but my ankles are cool. And that's making me sort of zinged up for the first time in my entire life. I am sort of going through a transformation exercise-wise. Well, mostly mentally, because I've decided that I'm going to exercise. Very new decision for me, and I think that everyone should be proud of me for just even getting that far. I've decided that, my lifestyle is now going to be one in which I'm exercising. I've been backpatting myself for like 3 weeks straight for thinking about running. I've been really getting off to myself on disgusting. I've been really getting into myself, sort of feeling proud, sort of buying little treats for me because I've thought about the idea that I'm going to start running. And I gotta say, I couldn't be more jazzed to begin the process. But I'm also enjoying the pre-process where I don't run yet. I think I just watched a bunch of videos where people were like, I love to run and it allows me to explore my city, my town, my life. I'm out there and I'm running past all these people and I'm saying, hey, hello, people. Hello. And that got me thinking that would be cool to do. I also want to get back into bicycling because I used to bicycle all the freaking time in college. And then I moved to New York City and I got too scared. And then I moved to Los Angeles and there's too many hills. And I feel like I want to get back into it because I want to start exploring my neighborhood more. because you can get that from a stroll. But if you run, you're getting twice the exploration at a reasonable price. So everybody, I want you to bear with me as we're about to open up the phone lines and I'm about to change people's lives gratis. Before we do, if you like the show, and honey, I hope that you like it because I can't be hearing those mean comments because they hurt my feelings. And everyone turning the show off right after that. If you like the show, I do appreciate it. And the quickest way that you can make sure you don't miss an episode is by liking and subscribing to the episodes on whatever platform you're listening so you don't miss the episodes and you can turn on the notification bell if you're on YouTube. And if you love the show and you want more of it, you can join the Patreon where we have exclusive bonus episodes every single Friday, as well as extended versions of this episode you're listening to right now, as well as all the other ones where there's a cold open. So it's like 10 to 15 minutes of bonus content and they're absolutely astoundingly ad-free. So if you like this stuff and you want more of it, head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/perfectperson to join in. Now, without further ado, let's get to the phone lines with people that have issues. This is a relatable problem to me.
Hi. Like many other people, I have a little treat mindset, and it's crippling me because I'm spending way too much money on little treats. So how do I get out of my little treat mindset while still treating myself is, I guess, my big predicament. So, yeah.
This is something I think about almost nonstop because I, too, have a little treat mindset. And I think it's enriched my life and made me sort of a powerful business owner as well as an emotionally intuitive guy. Let's give this person a call back so I can hear about their little treats because I want everyone to feel empowered to treat themselves to little things.
Hello?
Hello.
Shut the
You
fuck
called
up.
Perfect Person, and I am here to call you back about your treat mindset.
Oh my God. I thought this was a scam.
You thought
Oh my God, I'm honored.
Sorry, you thought this was spam and you still picked up? Would you have been like, hi? Honestly, maybe I should call people back and just ask them if they want a new phone plan.
I pick up every single phone call that I ever get because, I don't know. It's a problem.
Well, no, by the way, I have the same mentality where it's like, oh, unknown number. What if it's someone in an emergency and they're drowning and they need my help or something?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm constantly worried that like someone who I don't have their contact saved is like on the edge of a cliff holding on and my number was the only one they could press. And I'm the only person that can possibly
literally.
save them. Yeah. I was 100%
Literally.
on the same page as you. Would you like a fake name to preserve your anonymity as a little treat?
Obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Perfectly.
Obviously.
Wonderful. Okay. Your name is going to be Addison.
Can I have a different one?
Is that?
I know someone named Addison.
Okay. Different name.
I need
Scratch
a
that.
different one.
Scratch that. What about Abby?
I know an Abby too.
Oh my God. This is unprecedented.
Avoid the A names because I'm also an A name.
Okay. Charlotte.
My coworker is a Charlotte.
Oh my God. I can't fucking believe this. This is insane.
Can I pick one?
Never before.
Can I pick one?
I'm sorry. Never before in the history of this podcast have we had a three-peat. We've had to three-peat new names. This is out of line.
Addison is my friend's little sister. Abby is my sister's best friend from high school. And Charlotte is my coworker.
Okay. Well, you can pick your fake name. What is your fake name that you would like?
Well, I'm house sitting right now, so I'm going to go with Shed because I'm looking at a shed right now.
I love where your head's at right now. Shed.
Thank you.
All right, Shed.
Thank you.
Well, as you may have noticed, I'm alone in the studio for one of the triannual solo episodes.
Even a bigger honor. Sorry, I'm freaking out right now.
No, that's very sweet of you, but you're going to be getting my advice straight from the source, straight from the spigot, just sort of outside, turning the water on and putting your mouth right up to the hose to get that advice.
Love it. Love it.
So tell me about your treat mindset and mentality, and I will tell you what to do about your conundrum.
To start, I go to college in 2 weeks, so I really need to be saving money. And I'm going to college out of state, so I really need to be saving money.
Gotcha.
My job is great. I love my job. It doesn't pay the best.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
What do you do for work?
I work at a library.
Okay.
I put the books away.
But
since it's like but since I'm like a part-time government employee, believe it or not, the pay isn't spectacular if I was like working at a McDonald's. So
for sure. Dewey Decimal style. Yeah, definitely.
Literally Dewey Decimal. So problem with my mentality is that every single time I leave the house, I'm literally just like, I need to get a little treat.
Yeah.
I'm being productive. I need a little treat.
100%, by the way.
Yeah, which is like valid. Do you know what I mean? Because I struggled getting really productive. So once I'm in the zone and I've accomplished everything, I'm like, I need to treat myself. But all of my treats are expensive. And I don't like making my little treats at home, because then is it a little treat or is it another chore?
Oh, that is really interesting. So it's like if you have to prepare a little ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
That in a way.
My go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah. My go-to little treat is an iced matcha latte with oat milk and sweet cream cold foam from Starbucks. I can't make that exactly, right? But it isn't a treat if I make it at home.
Matcha is one of those things that you kind of have to like, you're like squirting, you're moving it all around. It's sort of a big to do. So I get what you're saying. You're trapped between a treat and a hard place. And you don't want to be preparing your own treats, but you do believe that you deserve the treats out there in the world.
Yes. And my other problem is that I'm just very impulsive. So if I'm like, one of my things today that I absolutely need to do is get a car wash, because my car is nasty.
Yeah.
And the car wash is right next to a Starbucks. So I'm just like, sitting in a car wash is boring. I don't want to be on my phone because I have a problem of being on my phone all the time. I don't want to start that habit while I'm driving. I need something to snack on. What's better than a matcha? And hey, I'm also hungry. Let's get a chocolate croissant.
Okay, so I've got a couple. Well, by the way, absolutely loving chocolate croissants for you. I'll say, as somebody, to give you some background on my treat history, I've always been a treater. I've always been somebody who, like, even when I worked, I worked at a frozen yogurt shop in high school, and worked at coffee shops and stuff in college. I didn't have a lot of money, but I still would go out of my way to make sure that I got that treat, because that's the way my brain works, is like, I'm going to need to have a little thing, even if it's sort of out of my price range. I would budget to treat. You know what I mean? So I'm saving money.
Yeah.
I'm saving gas. I'm saving fucking coupons so that I can get an excessive little burrito or something, or nacho. Now,
right.
I think that the treat mentality for me, it extends beyond snacks. It extends to comic books. It extends to silly little video games. It extends to all sorts of things. Any way I can justify that I'm a little guy who works really hard, that's going to be something that I want to be rewarded for that. Now,
right.
You're about to go to college, so you're going to have a lot less time. And also, it's really tough because you're about to go to college, and I want to say, you know what? You deserve a little treat because you're about to go on a big trip.
Literally.
I
am going on a big trip.
You're going
big
on a big
adventure.
Trip. Big adult trip.
Yeah.
And now I think that what you should probably do, and this is going to be a way that's going to sort of cheat your brain, because I'm playing mental chess with myself 24/7 just to justify that I am actually that bitch. So what you're going to want to do is get the venti Starbucks. Okay? You with me? I know you're on board with that. Yeah. Right?
I obviously am.
Obviously. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, and I love where we're going with this. I want you to save the cup.
What if I already have saved cups, though?
Now, here's my question. When you're at home, are you using the saved Starbucks cup?
No, because again, it's mostly just like an impulsive little thing. Like I plan out the little treat.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't hit the same.
This is what you think, right? Okay, so this is what you think, but here's what I'm gonna have you do. Make the iced matcha, Starby. And what I want you to do is literally, when you make it at home,
put it in the cup.
Put it in the Starbucks cup, and then put it in the fridge, wait 10 minutes, go to the fridge, open it up, and there's your fucking treat. Okay?
Placebo effect.
It's the placebo effect, which, by the way, I watched all sorts of things about the placebo effect, and it works really well, obviously. But then also, you're going to want the placebo treat. Okay? What you're getting is the placebo. It's not the Starbucks, okay? The control is you're making it at home. And the Starbucks is the frickin' whatever's the opposite of the control. I'm no scientist. You work at a library. You tell me.
I mean, I took one psychology class sophomore year, and I felt heavily judged by the teacher, so I didn't comprehend a single thing.
Yeah, I get that. I didn't like my psychology class either. I got a bad grade. But
I liked my psychology class. He just made me share my reoccurring rat nightmares to the whole class, and then he was like, that's weird, and then he didn't give me a solution.
That's crazy, by the way. To lambast you in front of the school for having a nightmare is really wild.
It was during COVID too, and I was like the only underclassman in the class.
Oh, so you were over Zoom, and he was like, "Please share your story."
It was like we did like a hybrid thing, and it was like, if you ever had a reoccurring dream, like raise your hand. And I was like one of the few sophomores in the class, maybe like one of 2 or 3. And I was like, oh my God, I used to have reoccurring dreams about foot-long rats getting their necks snapped and ran down a garbage disposal in my kitchen. And he was like, whoa, I don't know what to tell you. And then he just moved on.
Wow. He served you up like he was going to help you. And then he just like kind of made fun of you in front of the class.
He made me the rat girl. He made me the rat girl. And that's not a name you want to have.
I know. You don't want to be rat girl, unfortunately. That is not, that's not going to be ideal for you to be. But I think that what you want to do is trick your brain into thinking you get a treat by doing something like this. Now, I find also that like, pastry wise, if I buy a little piece of pumpkin bread, or like if I buy muffins from the grocery store, have them at home, once the muffin, like if I'm eating a muffin in my kitchen, okay, yeah, I didn't have a treat. But if we're doing what we're saying and you're making a coffee at home, putting it into like a reusable to-go cup, and then once I bring the muffin and the coffee into my car, placebo effect kicks in, and I basically got that shit from the source.
Yeah. For real.
But you're doing it on a dime. You're doing it on the budge. So, like, I think the same thing is true for your dorm. Are you living in a dorm or on off-campus housing or something like that? Or when you go to school?
In a dorm, yeah. In a dorm.
So, the same is true for your dorm. If you're making a coffee or something like that in your dorm room, the second you leave your dorm room and you're walking the campus with the muffin that you bought from the grocery store and the coffee that you made in the home, the second you walk around, it's the same effect. And you're going to be getting that treat high that you're looking for. You're going to be fucking blacked out on treats, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be greened out, which to me is Starbucks.
Loving it.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, to me, treat mentality is all about, one, giving yourself that treat. And you know that you got to, like, every once in a while, you got to get the real stuff. But it's about finding a way to make your treats sustainable. Because a sustainable treat is a sustainable meet and greet of your interests.
Right. Like instead of like going to Starbucks and tipping the barista, I am the barista and I'm tipping myself.
You're tipping yourself
and saving the money.
And the tip is that you get a little treat. So
exactly.
Basically, this is going to be my advice for you. I think also it's worthwhile to have a little treat fund that you can do. It could be cash. It could just be a mentality of like you're saving up for a little treat that you do get to deserve. I think that it's just important, especially in college, by the way. College is hard. You're learning. If you can like look forward to a treat, sometimes that's also worth it. Like being like, oh, you know what? On Friday's the day I get my iced matcha latte and my fucking pumpkin bread. Instead of getting it every day, then honestly, I have found when you get treats too often, your brain starts to just be like, oh, like the hit, you get the high, the fucking buzz of a treat, you get that much less so. But if you wait and you are like, you know what, Friday morning's my little tradition is I always get this little thing, then I think that it's gonna hit you even harder.
Right. Yeah.
Mike, you're gonna want a macro dose. And then, by the way, you can microdose treats by having your little, the little cup hack by making it at home, putting it in the cup, getting the grocery store muffin for like $1 and then, going for it.
Right. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
I am smelling what you are stepping in.
Thank you for smelling what I'm stepping in. And by the way, have so much fun when you get back at college.
Thanks.
And enjoy the treats that life gives you because you deserve it. You work hard.
Oh my God,
and have fun doing the Dewey Decimal at the library, by the way.
I will try. The air conditioner isn't working.
Oh my God, that's a fucking nightmare. Jesus, it's so hot recently.
Oh my God. One of the rooms in the library was like 80 degrees during story time.
That is psycho. 80 degrees?
Yeah.
That's a steam room.
Yeah.
Even the books.
The thermostat was set to 68.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
It was like toddler story time, and it's 80 degrees.
Yeah, you're going to have to bust out the sandals in order to work at the library.
I don't want people seeing my toes. Weird.
Well, no, it makes them weird. It doesn't make you weird to show them. It makes them weird for poking. Not to kink shame.
That's a little debatable. I think if you have your toes out, that makes you weird. And if people are looking at the toes, that makes them weird too. I'm anti-toe.
I'm so sorry. You're anti-toe? First of all, not to kink shame. But you're saying that if I wear sandals, I'm the pervert?
I am not scared to be anti-toe. I'm not scared to be anti-toe. I think you have to be like a special type of person to just be like, I'm going to show the world my toes.
Oh my God.
And I don't mean that in a nice way.
Oh, so I show my toes and I'm the pervert, not the people who are buying and selling my own feet pics. I can't believe this. This is so controversial. But honestly, that's why we love it. That's why it's on the Perfect Person show.
Truly, I don't get people who just toes out. I'm constantly in socks.
Have you ever been to the beach or a pool?
Yeah. And that's an environment where I'm like, when you're in the water, toes can be out, but the minute you're out of the water,
you have to cover them up. Cover up my piggies?
Yeah.
I'm being asked to cover up my piggies as soon as I'm out of the water. There's no way that's going to be fine. I gotta cool my piggies off. I gotta make sure my piggies are nice and dry before I shove them back in my toes.
Dry them in the sock. I'm anti-toe, and nothing will ever change.
I'm so sorry. You're anti-toe, but dry them in the sock? That is so foul. I can't believe how foul that is, Shed. Shed, that's the most foul thing you said all day.
Toes are so gross. They are so icky. Hey. Why would I want to see toes? Yeah. If I'm on my hot girl walk with my little treat after budgeting for that little treat,
right,
and I see someone's toes, the treat is no longer a treat. The matcha is turning sour in my mouth.
Toes make the matcha curdle in my mouth.
It goes from being a smooth little sip to chunks automatically.
Wow. That is such a wild opinion. I can't believe that you're so anti-toe, but look, you know what? You got to live your truth. I'm out here saying that toes should be able to breathe. And if people want to peep my toes, that's their prerogative. But Shed, I do appreciate you calling in, and I'm glad that you're on your treat era. And I feel like I gave you some tips that's going to help you get those treats in a sustainable, ethical way.
You did. It was very helpful.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for calling in. You have a fantastic day.
You too.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye. Wow. Just like dancing in a dance circle at a potluck, vitamin labels can also be pretty disappointing. Misleading labels, questionable ingredients, sugary formulas. Yeah, that's a hard pass. On the vitamin labels, that is. And also the time I danced at a potluck. But then there's Ritual, made for skeptics by skeptics. With their multivitamin for women, what you see is what you get. And what you get is that good. I love popping a little Ritual multivitamin because it makes me feel fresh. And I like to have the routine in the morning where I take their little minty fresh capsule and I pop it on down because guess what? I find that it makes me make healthier choices along the way just to be able to confirm that I'm getting all the nutrients that I could possibly need despite whatever it is that I may be eating that week, month, or year. I'm gonna be taking my Ritual capsule and I'm gonna be liking the minty fresh taste. Trust. What you're getting with Ritual is a clinically backed multivitamin for women 18 plus with high quality and traceable key ingredients in clean, bioavailable forms, baby. With 9 key nutrients in 2 capsules per day, their unique beadleton oil is even patented. Ritual is essential for women 18 plus is one of the few women's multis that's USP verified, meaning what's on the label is what's in the formula. Starting my day with a Ritual capsule has me thinking about my health from the freaking moment that I wake up, and I know that I'm getting all the nutrients that I could possibly handle. No more shady business. Ritual's essential for women 18 plus is a multivitamin you can actually trust. Ritual's offering my listeners 30% off during your first month. Visit ritual.com/perfectperson to start Ritual or add essential for women 18 plus to your subscription today. The anti-toe thing is so funny to me. But man, I'm in my treat era recently. By the way, sometimes you got to cool it with the treats because it makes the treats hit harder, like I said. I at one point was getting a chocolate croissant and being like, I don't even really want this. And then it's like, okay, Miles, take a deep breath. You're having too many treats. You need to level off. Yeah, I needed to taper off. I had to taper off my level of treating myself because it was too excessive. And then eventually I get back into it. Now, the idea of a fucking dipped croissant is getting me up. We got to take another call here. We've got another call here about a problematic coworker that really needs to be stopped.
Hey, Miles, I'm having a problem with a coworker, and I really need your help. He's been saying really off-putting things in our open-air cubicle office, and he recently started farting really loudly and excusing himself out loud, and it's really kind of disturbing. So I really need your help knowing what to do. I love the show, and I hope you call back. Thanks.
Holy shit. That is a bold coworker for sure.
Hello?
Hello, you called Perfect Person. I'm here to call you back. How are you doing?
You're kidding me. Oh my God, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's the triannual solo episode, so you're going to be getting your advice right from the source. Just me in the studio.
Oh my God, what a dream come true. Oh my God. Now, Miles.
Would you like a fake name and would you like to assign it or shall I?
I would love for you to assign a fake name. Your
fake name is gonna be Clementine.
Oh, I love it. Maybe I'll change that to be my real name.
That would be a first. That would be a first for the show, absolutely. Well, tell me what's going on with your wild coworker who's been farting in the common space.
So he's kind of been saying some off-color things in the office, but the thing that really gets me the most is he will just fart very loudly and loudly just be like, "Excuse me."
Oh
and
my
everyone just kind of looks at each other like, okay, that's not how society works though.
Oh, God. How close do you... Well, first of all, what do you do for work? And then how close do you work to this person?
I'm just going to say I'm in the science field.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm 2 cubicles over from him.
Gotcha. And are you you can't, this is someone that is seen, not heard. You're sort of hearing the gas pass, but you can't see him do what he's doing.
Right. It's kind of I can see the top of his head a lot of the time, and you can tell he kind of looks up when he says "excuse me" to see if anyone's going to acknowledge it, and no one ever acknowledges him when he speaks because he says wild things just out of nowhere, and everyone's trying to work.
What is he saying? What's an example of something he said recently that was just a weird thing to say?
The other day, I have no idea who he was talking to because no one else was around him, but he was talking about, he was like, "That's a terrible name for a band. You might as well name it Micro Penis." And we were like, what?
Yeah, right.
Are you talking about?
Yeah, so he's just sort of spouting.
He talks about his random things.
Okay, interesting. Now, what's the workplace dynamic? Do you have a lot of friends in the office? Give me the key players that are hanging out there, and is this guy generally not that liked?
Yeah, I would definitely say he's not that liked.
Okay.
I have a lot of very close friends in the office.
Yeah.
One of them actually had an experience with him prior to him coming to work with us, and he had been sending her inappropriate messages on Instagram.
Jesus.
like sexual in nature.
Yeah.
And so we already like did not, and I tried to give him a chance. You know, he took me out to lunch at one point, and I was like, I'm going to just, you know, get my own point of view on this.
Yeah.
And it just has gotten worse and worse. And everyone in the office acknowledges this. My supervisor specifically, like, will text me sometimes because he'll either be like farting in a meeting and saying, excuse me, or like.
Sorry, that is like a really common problem is he keeps farting everywhere?
Yes.
Oh my God. Sorry, I interrupted you. Keep going.
I would say that is the primary concern that I have. It's the thing that gets me the most. Because if you have to, like, just hold it in like the rest of us, you know, like, try to make it not loud. I don't know. There's so many options here, and he really just chooses to, like, say it loud and proud.
Okay, so has anyone confronted him about this issue in the past?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I called, because it's kind of a weird thing to address.
Right. So I see the awkwardness. I can feel why it hasn't been brought up, but I do, like... I think that in this situation, and now this guy, like, I'm imagining someone that is not, like, he's not really liked in the office. Is he sort of trying hard to impress people? Or is he, like, you know what I mean? Like, is he, like, the office clown? Or is he just sort of like a renegade farter?
I would definitely classify him as a renegade farter. He's kind of...
a renegade farter.
For sure. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Not very liked around the office. He tells jokes. It's like, I can't decide if he just like has some narcissistic tendencies and just assumes that everyone wants to hear what he has to say, which is not true, or if he just is trying really hard, but it's just not the right audience. Like, he once bragged about hating dogs in front of the lab, and this is a lab that loves dogs.
Yeah, so it's like, what's this guy up to? Like, I'm also wondering, like, what's his life like outside of work? Like, is he... I would imagine probably, like, my big hunch is that this is someone who's deeply insecure, and they are processing that insecurity as a licensed therapist. I would say that probably, like, the reason he's, like, making these jokes and stuff like that is because he really, really, really wants to be liked, but he doesn't really know how to do that. And so he is going the complete opposite direction of what he should be doing, which is, like, listening, paying attention, and being, like, you know what I mean? Like, slowly integrating into a group. Now, though, like, it seems like that's like the empathy that I'm going to show this person, but also this in tandem with, like, him sending sexually explicit messages to a coworker, and that's, like, fucking gross and weird and, like, didn't end well. Obviously, like, I don't want to lend this guy the time of day for you to be like, hey, like, I think you should stop farting, because it seems like what this guy needs is a little bit of being humiliated at work. And I think that the way that you do this, you don't have to, like, stand up in the middle of a conference room and be like, this guy's farting. All you need to do is sow the seed of doubt that something that he's been doing for a long time is disgusting to everybody.
Oh my God. How? How do I do that?
Okay, so the next time he farts, unfortunately, this is going to require you to listen to one last fart. I know. And look,
I think I can do it.
You're a renegade agent. You have to get in there for one last job. But when you hear him fart and excuse himself, that's, by the way, I can't imagine. That's so foul. I'll fart in front of my wife. I'll fart in front of my wife proudly. And we are, constituting the gas. But in front of, like, other people, I really cannot imagine it. Like, I think that it's so...
Thank you. That's so validating.
It's so disrespectful because, like, if I'm at work, it's like you go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, fucking, like, go somewhere else. Especially if it's audible. Like, by the way, if it's, like, a silent issue, but it's like, okay, that happens sometimes. If it's audible, you're pushing it, right?
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Yeah, well, hey, you're welcome. So what you're going to have to do is next time he farts, just when you stand up, you can see him, right?
Yeah.
This is going to require courage on your part, but it's not going to be, it's going to be a brief Band-Aid. When he farts next time,
okay,
stand up and just go, hey, that's really disgusting, and sit back down. That's all. That's all you need. You don't wait for him to respond. Don't That's all you need to do. Now, that's like...
And just sit back down, avoid eye contact.
Yeah. Hey, and honestly, have a little bit of pity in your voice. Hey, that's really disgusting. Sit back down. Don't, if he says something like, what? Don't respond. Just like, that's it, right?
Yeah.
I'm
really good at not responding to him.
Yeah, this is level 1, by the way. Hey, that's really, like, you don't think it's funny? You don't think it's interesting? You feel bad for him. That's how you want the tone to come off. Hey, that's really disgusting. And you sit back down, because what might happen is a popcorn. You say it, you've opened up Pandora's box. Other people might then feel licensed to be like, yeah, like, could you please not? You know what I mean? Like, that's what you're hoping for. This is level 1.
So we're starting a revolution.
You are starting a revolution against the renegade farter, okay? Because he has been too long empowered to pass wind in your vicinity, and you're taking back the space, okay? So you're going to say,
taking it back.
Hey, that's really disgusting. Sit back down. Don't respond. If he has the audacity to fart another time, then you're going to have to double tap. Then you're going to have to go back in. Now, you could partner with a couple coworkers that's like, I will fly the first flag if the next time he farts, somebody else is going to be responsible for standing up and saying pretty much the same thing. Hey, could you please not do that? That's disgusting. Sit back down. Because, like, nobody wants to feel othered at work. And sometimes people who are disgusting and weird and rude need to feel othered at work in order for the behavior to change.
I think you're right.
Like, I would feel bad for this person if he was, you know what I mean? If he was farting sometimes and then not saying, excuse me. Because, like, I'm guessing, like, can you do an impression of the way he's saying, excuse me?
Yeah, he's like, excuse me. It's like loud, like he's trying to project.
Yeah, he's trying
so everyone hears.
He's honestly maybe looking for fart attention. I mean, this is a common problem. We see this all the time. Someone is farting looking for attention. It's the same energy of somebody like burping in middle school and being like, oh, sorry, that was gross. Like, they are ultimately looking for attention, and they're doing it through like doing the most disgusting thing possible. Like, at whatever the cost, they want the attention. So in this circumstance, like, what you can do to stave that off. Now, I'll also say, probably something that's going to make this a little easier is if you're able to do this, and then after he starts to warm up and he starts to quiet down and he starts to be a little less weird, then you be like, hey, how's it going? Like, you sort of offer a condolence of niceness. But this is after he stops his behavior. So you got to wait.
Some positive reinforcement.
Yeah, positive reinforcement of, and what you don't want to do is approach him and go, hey, I've noticed you've stopped farting so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so don't do that.
Don't do that. But you just want to be a little bit, like, you want to be kind to him after his behavior has changed. Because you don't want to create a hostile environment where you feel weird around him because there's something left unsaid. Because that also can happen. Where, like, if you call a coworker out, then, like, after that call out, it can be awkward around them. That's why, like, you want to be able to clearly call out if you have an issue with somebody that's doing something that's, like, completely unredeemable. Call that person out and then, like, let a little bit of time pass and then be very friendly to them. Because you don't want their behavior and you calling their bad behavior out to affect your experience at work. You're fixing a problem. So you don't want the problem to be that you feel awkward around them, like in the conference room or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's going to be what I'm going to assign to you. One last job. Get in there and get out. This will cease the farting. And if it doesn't, I think you just got to continue this path where, like, he farts. No, it's almost like Pavlov's dog. You're training him not to fart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time.
Okay.
Well,
that's really, really helpful.
I'm so glad I could be of help here. And good luck out there. You're powerful. You can stop the You can start the revolution and you can cease the wind.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you so much for calling me back. Congrats on your little baby.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he's like almost 7 months now. It's crazy. He's like,
My God, that is crazy.
Squirming around, grabbing everything. It's pretty wild. But thank you so much for calling in.
For you.
And you have a fantastic Saturday.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Man. Whew. That feels like an office that is under a regime where they cannot be honest about the amount of farting that they are experiencing. And that's a damn shame, I'll say. But this, I do think that like the key to fixing a workplace, if you are in a workplace like that has some sort of awkward person or thing, it's sort of like when the U.S. government has such a left turn. It's sort of like when the U.S. government will go in and like kill a dictator or take down like a fascist regime, but then they won't replace it with anything. So then it's just chaos, or it's just like just as uncomfortable. Like, and so this farter, if you go into the farter and you're like, "Hey, that's so disgusting. Please stop farting," blah, 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 like, and then you don't fix it, you're just opening up a wound where it's like he might not be farting anymore, but now he hates you. And it's then going to be an awkward experience to have to work with this person that hates you. And you're going to feel awkward around them because you know that they hate you. And then it's just going to be like, you know, another problem that you're going to have to solve. So if you freaking take down the fascist farter, then you're going to want to replace it with a kind, enthusiastic luncheon. Let's take one final call here. This is an interesting one about a roommate situation that got a little spicy.
Hey, Miles. Here's my dilemma. I live with two men that I've slept with, and, that's proving to be a harder situation to navigate than you might think. I know you think it must be easy. It's not. Call me back.
I live with two men that I've slept with. Interesting. I'm going to need some more details so I can properly diagnose the sitch.
Hello?
Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back to get the tea on your living situation.
I would love to give it to you, but unfortunately, right now, I am stuck in a car with them.
You answered the phone?
I did. Yep.
How could you answer the phone? That's such a dangerous game. Okay, well, listen up. I guess you can't talk about this at all. This is crazy. You're fucking in the bee's nest. You're in enemy territory.
But I can talk in like 5 minutes.
Okay, you can talk in 5-10 minutes. You can just answer yes or no questions, okay? So you hooked up with both of these people. Did you hook up with them? Were you dating them? Or did you hooked up with them before you moved in with them?
Yes, one.
One. Yes, one.
But actually, both. Yeah, both.
Yes, both. Okay. Then you moved in with these people. Now, I'm guessing that the problem is that one or both of them are interested in pursuing you still now that you live together.
No, it's not in a serious sense.
Not in a serious sense. They're just interested in hooking up.
I believe so.
And are you interested in hooking up with either of them?
Absolutely not.
Okay, absolutely.
Well, not now.
Not now. Okay, so my advice for you, this is such budget advice because you're restricted. My advice for you is just start bringing people you're dating over to the apartment a lot and talking to them about people that they're dating so it becomes very clear that that is not it. Start making comments like, yeah, bro, like start sort of like creating a real friendship barrier here that's just like, yeah, we're not going to be doing any sort of hooking up now that we all live together.
Yeah, I wish I could speak freely.
I wish I could speak freely. Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Well, here's my question for you. Okay, so when are you going to be able to freely speak?
In like 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes? Okay, yes. I will call you back in about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll call you back. All right, bye. Oh my God, she was behind enemy territory. She was in the car with both of them, driving, listening to music that I do not have the rights to, obviously. That's so fucking funny. Okay, I'm going to give this person a call back in 5 minutes once they are available, and we're going to experience that right now.
Give me one more minute. I'm almost able to get out of this car.
Okay, no worries at all. Here, we'll make small talk until you can get out of the car. Now,
Perfect.
well, first of all, tell me about yourself. I'll give you a fake name. Your fake name is going to be Acorn. Now,
Is this a solo one?
yes, this is the triannual solo episode. It's one of 3 solo episodes, so your advice is going to be right from the freaking source. Now, tell me, Acorn, what do you do for work?
I'm in school.
You're in school? That's sick, actually. That's awesome. And what are you in school for?
Psychology and business.
Psychology and business. Well, you're going to need those degrees as you navigate this psychology experience.
It's certainly an experience.
I love, by the way, that I can hear those boys talking about something completely unrelated in the front seat.
Right? So funny. How far away are we? So I can get out of this car. Cool. We're going to get lunch.
Oh, you're going to get lunch. That's huge.
Yeah.
And where are you getting lunch?
A pizza place called Manny and Bo's.
Manny and Bo's. By the way, you got to be getting that pesto pizza.
Oh my God, I wish.
Yeah. By the way, I'm getting so hungry. Oh, man.
Oh my God, yeah.
I would love a
like you
pesto.
always are when you do these.
No, I'm big time hungry. Honestly, I have a thing where it's like I often record earlier in the morning. So like this morning I had a smoothie, but then over the course of the recordings, I'm recording this episode and another one right afterwards. I get so goddamn hungry and I'm like, holy shit, it's been so long since I've eaten because I don't eat in between because I worry I'm going to be too greasy for the guests.
Too greasy. Well, I mean, you did have olive oil on the can that one time. So.
Okay, that was one time. I did have olive oil on the can. I don't know where the fuck the olive oil came from, but I did have an oily can in the Eric Striffler episode. But that was that was a one and done, okay? I haven't had any more sauce or oil on my cans. And in fact, I haven't had much. I got to go refill the fridge. I often try to get like an elaborate grouping of cans that the guests are going to be really impressed with.
Oh, well, yeah. So, you know, thin drips covered in olive oil. That does not impress them.
Okay, that was one time. But then I try to get like a little coconut water or a little like green juice or a cold brew. So that way the guests are like, oh my, how fun and exciting.
Not treat. Oh my God, I'm so close to getting out of this car. This is amazing.
I'm just talking you through the situation as you fumble to get out of the car so you can talk shit about the people in the car.
Oh, can you please? I'll meet you in there.
Okay. Are you in safe territory now?
I am.
Okay. Incredible. Tell me about your situation.
So only one person in that car actually knew what this call was actually. That was my best friend Emma, who also lives with us, and Tristan is her boyfriend.
Oh.
And so essentially they drove out our other roommate, who was a girl. She was like, I didn't sign up to live with a roommate and her boyfriend. So you know what? Fuck you guys. You ruined my life. I'm leaving. And we were like, okay.
Okay, bye.
All the while this was happening, one of Tristan's friends, unbeknownst to me, was interested in me. And I was like, this guy's too sexy for me, Miles. Like, no, he couldn't possibly. And then he was, and then he was pursuing me. And then that girl roommate was like, I'm moving out. And then Tristan was like, oh my God, perfect. I'll give him a fake name. Ken.
Oh, Ken. Got it. So Ken is Tristan's friend.
Yeah. And so then he started pursuing me, and then Tristan was like, well, Ken can move in. Ken can move in. And Ken had asked me out on a date like a couple of days before. He was like, okay, well, he can move in.
So messy.
And then Ken was, and then I couldn't go on the date because I got sick. And then me and Ken started having a thing, and then a week after Ken moved in, things started kind of like falling apart. We were just kind of like, okay, well, this isn't gonna work probably.
Because you're moving in together. It's so much pressure.
Well, I'm 22. Ken is recently 20. And Ken was like, well, we'll just act like adults about it. And I was like, adults? You think we're adults?
Adults, we're 20 and 22, bud.
That's hilarious. So anyway, I was like, well, he's moving in. I can't do anything about it. We need somebody to sublet. He can pay the rent. So whatever. I guess I'm stuck here. And then as I gained feelings for Ken lost feelings for me. And then Ken had this other really sexy friend. We'll call him Quinn. I don't know.
Ken and Quinn. Got it. So Quinn is Ken's sexy friend.
All right. And then Ken was like telling my friend Emma, you know what? We should get Acorn, because that's my name. We should get Acorn to hook up with Quinn.
Okay,
and so then everybody kind of started pushing me towards that, and then I got drunk and sad because Ken was not interested in me anymore. And then I hooked up with Quinn, and we never formally ended things. I just hooked up with Quinn.
Got it. Okay.
There was never a discussion between me and Ken. It was just Acorn hooked up with Quinn, and that's how that ended. And then Quinn came around a lot more, and we hooked up a couple more times.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, we're not dating, so I'm not going to continue to hook up with you if, we're not going to date, so I'm not going to continue this if we're not dating. And so then we both broke that off. And then Quinn was living with his parents, and his parents were getting really mad at him that he wasn't home all the time and at our home all the time. So then they kicked him out of his house. And then he was like, hey, Acorn, can I move in? You're the only person I need a yes from still. And I was like, okay. Because we didn't say to somebody who's getting kicked out of their house.
Yeah, you were like, I don't want to push you to the streets, I guess. So even though there's so much history here, holy shit. By the way, this is you said you're a student. This is so college, and I love it. It's just
this is so college.
Everyone's hooking up with everybody. It's just like a big wild mess.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Tristan and Emma are watching this unfold and being like, you goddamn idiot, Acorn. You're so stupid.
Well, so now what do you want from the situation? Because it seems like you're no longer hooking up with Quinn or Ken, but you now live with them. Is there an awkward vibe, or is there what do you want from the situation, and what are you looking for advice on?
There's an awkward vibe also because Ken, a couple weeks after me and Quinn stopped hooking up, he essentially, we kind of had a relapse. I'm not gonna lie to you, Miles. We kind of had a relapse for a one-time only event. For one night only.
One night only. Get your tickets. It's one night only, everybody. Great. Okay.
So that's also kind of an awkward vibe. And I kind of just don't know how to navigate this situation because it is kind of awkward a little. And also, they're always talking about girls, and they hook up with girls in the room right next to mine. And let me tell you, Miles, those walls are not thick.
Oh, no. Got it. So does that part of it, I mean, I
get jealous.
Yeah. Okay.
I get a little jealous, and I'm like, I have no right.
Okay, gotcha. So first of all, I'll say that this time in your life is going to be unlike no other. You live with two people that you've hooked up with, and it seems like you guys all hang out. You went on a run with them. It has potential. Yeah. The upside of this is that it has potential to be really fun and flirty and kind of oh, will they, won't they? We're all going out to parties. We're all kind of single. It's maybe fun. The upside is that it could be really, really fun. The downside is that you're going to feel feelings of I'm jealous because these people are sort of not dating me, but we're probably getting emotional intimacy from each other because we all live together, and then they're hooking with other people. And you're feeling left out and lonely because you're looking for some sort of intimacy that you can no longer get from these two nice hunky boys. But that you were able to kind of hang out with them, and they're part of your immediate friend circle.
Yeah. We call ourselves a little family, which is kind of fun.
That's really
cute.
But
also it's the other night I went on a date, and Emma's my double agent. In the house, because the boys also they'll show care for Emma and Tristan. They won't really show it for me, to me. It kind of feels because they're both, immature. We're in our 20s, and we relations, and
Relations.
it's awkward. Relations. we have had those, and so they sometimes they act like they don't really care about me, and they try to treat me like a little sister in a weird way, and like that's like we all like laugh because we're like, oh my god, I'm interested in our parents, and we're all siblings, you know.
Yeah.
I have like 2 older brothers now, basically.
Right. To get to the heart of it, it's like, I think that, again, like you have upside here for this to be really special and wonderful, and for you to get closer to Ken and Quinn in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Like, it sounds like, first of all, a living situation where there's all these people. It's so new girl. It's so like this type of situation where, you know, like, and I have been in living situations, especially in college, where it's like people are always kind of over and whatever. And it's like, oh, these people are kind of hooking up, but then these people used to hook up, but now that person hooks up with this and whatever. That can be super fun and bring you so close to these people. The thing I would just warn you about is try and reset the expectation between you, Ken, and Quinn. Now, because of how it sounds like, it doesn't sound like the saga of you hooking up with either of them is over, especially because you live together. Am I wrong about that? Or are you really trying to steer away from that?
I am trying to steer away from that.
Okay, that's great. That's great then. So if that's the case, then reset the expectation and kind of lean into the sibling feeling that sometimes happens. You may have to just distance yourself from them just for a little bit so you can kind of resolve that feeling of left outedness. Yeah. And then you can get a little bit closer with them once you feel like you have a handle on the situation. It feels like it's all like everything's happening in close proximity. So what you might want to do is just like slightly protect yourself from the feelings around them just for a little bit. Just to like, honestly, it's like where your mind knows you have to do something, but your body doesn't yet. You just have to kind of like trick yourself to be like, all right, I'm just going to take a tea on hanging out with you guys for like a week or whatever. And then you can come back to it and reset the expectation that you guys are this little family unit.
Yeah. That's happened a couple of times, but then each time I get thrown back into it, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then alcohol comes into play, and I'm like, damn it. I live with 2 really sexy men I've hooked up with.
I know. And like, look, again, like that's the chaotic nature of your friend group has a big upside and also has a downside, which is that like, if you're going to play messy games, you're going to get messy prizes. And that, by the way, I am pro messy games. I am so pro messy games. I'm pro it being like, oh, it's this wild thing where we're all hanging out and there's always a story and the night sort of takes a saga. And then, oh, we hung out in the kitchen late at night when we were drunk, but then we didn't hook up. But then the next day there was a text. I'm so pro just fucking throwing yourself into this. You're 22. This experience is like one to be cherished. It may lead to you sometimes feeling like disappointed or a little bit confused. But as long as you are setting appropriate boundaries for yourself of like, if something really hurts, that's when you need to take time away from the situation. If something's like a little confusing and you're like, I don't know, like, then that may just be the nature of the beast. If you're really feeling hurt feelings, then I would distance yourself from them entirely. But if you're feeling like, oh, well, I like some elements of this and some elements are a little bit messy, then I think that that's kind of okay at this point in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
I think right, Miles.
But again, like, it's sort of one of those things where you're in a really messy situation, but it kind of sounds fun, no?
It is kind of fun.
Yeah, see? Like, I think, yeah, like, I don't know.
It's entertaining for others as well.
Yes.
Isn't that right, Emma?
That being said, I also think that, like, if you're trying to date and hook up with people, do that with people outside of the house.
Oh, that's what I've started doing.
Yes. And sometimes talking about those experiences in the house where there is this sort of odd thing can bring everyone together and make you feel like everyone in the family is sort of like part of the same mission. And it's for all of us to go out and, you know, find loved ones out there. And that sort of bond together of like a bunch of single people being like, we're all looking outward for this experience can sometimes bring you closer together and also negate some of the weirdness.
That's so true. I love you, Miles. This is why you're the perfect.
Thank you so much for calling in. I do appreciate it. Enjoy your pizza.
Pulling me back.
Of course, I had to hear the stunning conclusion. And you have a fantastic garlic knot in there.
I knew I was going to.
And thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much, Miles. Bye.
Bye. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time here, but I still have to get real. So we're going to do that right here. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor serving you tonight. I feel like I'm looking towards the next 6 months very hopefully, and that there's a lot of things that I want to accomplish. There's a lot of just personal goals that I'm putting as a priority. Me getting hyper buff, obvi, but also just trying to restructure my life. I'm going to be 30 in a month, in September, beginning of September, and that is really wild to me. And I'm trying to restructure some parts of my life. The part of me that gets exercise, the part of me that journals, the part of me that's like mental health. I want that to be a priority. The part of me that wants to be interested in hobbies. The part of me that wants to make time to go on dates with my lovely wife, where we get a little Negroni and some oysters. I'm trying to make sure that all parts of my life are equally fed. Because recently I've been putting a lot of effort into work, a lot of effort into baby, a lot of effort into trying to make sure our house runs efficiently. And I'm trying to make sure that the me part of it and my relationships with my friends, my relationship with my lovely wife, all of that stuff gets fed too. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I'm crazy busy and whatever, then think about parts of your life that you haven't been feeding those treats to. And make sure you get a little chocolate croissant for your hobbies. As always, I'm Miles Bond on everything, and you can give me a little follow if you'd like. And if you can follow Perfect Person Pod in order to call into the show, I want everyone out there to know that if you want a little treat, you deserve it, babe. And as always, remember that no matter where you're struggling, if it's outside of a pizza place, if it's in your home, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.